Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sport. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.
Welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show here on KCAA Radio Network, and I'm your host, Antonette Waite. Our guest is Andrea Piontkovski, and we were talking about her legal services here in San Diego. So, Andrea, what are the things that you are working on aside from the immigration services that you provide?
Well, there are a few projects going on. Of course, I have my hobbies too.
Okay, yeah, would love to know what that is.
I'm a lawyer by day and a dancer by night.
Oh my gosh, awesome.
Yeah, I've been teaching my Zumba class for 9 years already, and I don't want to leave it. You know, when I became an attorney, people were like, "Are you gonna stop dancing and teaching?" I'm like, "No, that's what keeps me young and energetic."
Love it. Oh wow, I love it.
And it's a good way to network as well. You know, it's a good way to show other people that you can be both, that you can dance and be yourself and move your body and also be a professional. So I love that part about my life.
I always think that women is always multitaskers. They always do so many things.
We definitely are. And it's funny because sometimes I have clients going to my classes, and it's odd because they always see me like, professional during the day, and then I'm like screaming at night.
So you're living a double life here.
But they like when they see their lawyer being normal, being a new human being. So I learned how to manage my balance in life, and I like it.
That is amazing.
Another thing that I've been trying to do for a couple of years is that I host motivational events. My story somehow inspire other women to just not give up. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but to pass the bar exam took me 4 years only, just the bar exam.
Okay.
I passed on the 6th time. Imagine how frustrated I was. And someone in my shoes could probably just say, you know what, maybe this is not for me. Let me just try another thing. I give up. But I didn't allow myself to give up. And I try to share that with a lot of pride. I do have friends who don't talk about the bar exam or any failures, but I use my failures to show people that I'm not like the super smart girl that they think I am. No, I went through a lot of struggles. But the world is made for those women who can just continue. Yes, you're gonna fail during the process. You might fall during the process, but you can just get up again. And somehow that has made me a mentor for women who are attorneys abroad and they want to become attorneys here or in any other field where they feel like I needed to hear your story to just keep going. So, I think that's the way that I'm putting my little help out there.
Okay. So I know some women, they struggle because of so many things that they are doing. But I think the courage that you're talking about and helping them, mentoring them, I think that really helps women. I mean, I personally am a very strong woman. I go through my process of downtime too. Sometimes I feel
we all do. I tried a lot.
Yes, and that's something I don't limit myself. If I am upset, I would cry because you need to get it out. And once I cried and I'm done with that, then next day I'm like up. I said, this is what I'm gonna do to solve this problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I allow myself to be emotional too, and I want to make sure that I let the frustration out of my system. And once it's out, then I make things happen, and my mind is more energized to come up with more creative ideas, and it makes it work for me.
It's the healthiest way, in my opinion. We try to be tough, and that's the face that we project usually, but When you go home and you're taking a shower and you have all this frustration in there, I just let it out. I have to release, and that's what I dance.
Mhm.
I need to just release that stress, the frustration, whatever it's going on in our lives. And I allow myself to be vulnerable because that's a good way to realize, okay, well, I have a problem. Let me just feel it, and tomorrow we find solutions.
Okay. Now, the theme of our show is about freedom.
Mm-hmm.
How do you look at freedom in a sense of, where your accomplishments and all the things that you're doing for women and helping all these people on the immigration side of it? How do you look at freedom in your own perspective?
Well, I grew up in a country where we still have a communist regime for more than 20 years. So when I moved to the United States, I felt that sense of wow, you can walk on the streets and just have a phone in your hands and nobody's gonna steal it. You can say whatever you want and the government is not gonna put you in jail just because you're expressing yourself. You learn the basics because we're not entitled. When you have lived in a socialist or in a communist country before, and you move to a country that is developed and have a better system than where you come from, then you appreciate the difference and you understand the meaning of freedom. And don't get me wrong, freedom is not about just doing whatever you want over stepping over people. That's not freedom. But freedom is having the same opportunities as the person next to you. So I came to this country and I had the opportunity to get loans and go to school. And I'm in debt like many people in this country,
Uh-huh.
but I had the same opportunity as any other American to go to law school and get a degree. So for me, that's freedom. The freedom that you can go to the supermarket and you can choose between all these products, different brands, and you have the choice to buy whatever you want. That's freedom because I didn't have it before. And when I see people complaining and complaining, I'm like, you live in a country that claims and shows and makes you feel freedom. So don't waste it. Of course, it's not a perfect system. It's not a perfect, we always have problems. We all do. But just recognizing that we have the power of that freedom here makes you feel empowered to just achieve whatever you want. And that's my perspective.
Oh, I love it. Oh
I'm not
my
gonna cry. I'm
God.
not gonna cry.
Yes, Andrea, I love what you just said because I sometimes see people in this city and they miss the boat. They
Mm-hmm.
miss the boat of how beautiful this country is in regards to opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And they are so narrow-minded in regards to what they can do. It's funny because there was a man who was standing while I was walking to my meeting, and he was one of the homeless people in town. But he is a very tall guy and pretty built. And I'm like, and he was asking for money, because he wants to eat. He wants to get a sandwich in this store, and it so happened that I had like a few dollars in my wallet, and I said, okay, well, I have $6. I mean, here, hopefully that can help you. But I'm thinking to myself, he is so tall and he's so built that he can do whatever he wants. I
He's
mean,
healthy.
yes, he is healthy. And I'm thinking of the people in the Philippines where even young kids are working and
Mm-hmm.
hustling for business. And I'm looking at him, it's like, you have two hands, you have 2 feet. Why are you not taking advantage of what you have in this country? And I feel like, something is really missing in his life that he couldn't see it. So,
Yeah.
I think part of, one of the things that I was thinking when after talking to that man, I said to him, "Look, I wish you the best in life." And he said, "Well, it's been hard for him." He said, "Okay, well, if you had the courage to ask me money, I bet you can make things happen." That's what I said to him.
Yeah, because asking money is not an easy thing.
It's not an easy thing to ask money from someone. And he did it. So he's almost like has the ability of being a salesman, right? So
Uh-huh.
and the funny thing, Andrea, is I don't really give cash to people, strangers, because I value my time and my money, and I look at the people that I help. But for
Yes.
some reason, he was able to manage to get that money from me because of the way he approached me. So he does have a talent in asking money from
He can
people.
sell you whatever he wants.
Yes. And the last thing I said to him, you know, you can make things happen because God is with you. And that's all I said. And I left. And I prayed for him. And I hope that, he will have some
Yeah.
clarity in himself that he can do something in his life. But yeah, this country has full of opportunities and blessings. And you saw it, and look at you now. You are an amazing lawyer in San Diego, and the city of San Diego. I mean, this city is not easy to live in, but you managed to be here and become successful, and now you're going to be blessing so many women in our group. So very, very thankful of being connected to you, Andrea. And I really like to see more, things that we can work on together. And for you out there, make sure you really check with Andrea. I mean, you just never know what you can learn from her, or even, brainstorm some of the things that you do with your business. So let me ask you, Andrea, if a business owner is, doing the same thing, trying to improve their business, how much of their business where they need your support? Because I know when it comes to business, you need to have a lot of legal contracts, a lot of security and protection. So what part of the business will they need to consider your services?
Well, it depends. It depends on the needs of that company, because you can talk about compliance, you can talk about the contract side, and you can talk about employment side,
Mhm.
or probably if you're gonna hire, employees from abroad, maybe that's how I would come. I sometimes I do handle some side areas for my clients. For example, I have my recent investment visa was about a guy who has trucks in Mexico, and he wanted to start using those trucks here in the United States. So for him, I did the whole process of from creating his company to working on the contractual side. So I can go beyond the immigration portion when I'm working in one of those cases specifically. But
Okay.
I would suggest that if you want something more like, narrow for your company, you go with the right attorney for you, because we're so many different areas, and the best way to get that help is to go to the specialized attorney in what you need.
Okay, so there's so many lawyers, but they have to have some specialized, you know, uh, things that they need to concentrate on. Okay,
Yes,
well,
yes.
that's good to know because, sometimes I just don't, I mean, I didn't know that I don't understand it. So it's good that you're kind of, so what are the type of real lawyers that people should be going after if they're running their business?
Well, it could be the business attorney, it could be the compliance attorney. It depends again on the needs of
Okay.
this specific portion. If it is a big company, sometimes people have their own in-house attorneys, which helps with a variety of issues. Other companies have the resources to hire specific firms, for example, tax attorneys. Like it depends on what's the area of need.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna take another commercial break, and this is the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio. We're learning so much from Andrea. Attorney Andrea. I should be calling you that, right? Attorney
No, I'm,
Andrea.
I'm a humble person. Don't worry.
But anyway, such great information so far from Attorney Andrea, and make sure you don't go away because we have another segment with her, and we're gonna learn more from her. So make sure you stay tuned in. Okay, I'm your host Marie Antoinette Waite here at the Fabulous Lifestyle, and we'll see you then.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Up Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.